right, Cowboy Nation. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. My name is Law Nation. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, let friends, neighbor, foes know where to go when they want to tune into Cowboy Sports Talk and Beyond. Happy Saturday to everybody that's watching. We're live on multiple platforms here. Here's the situation. We look at life and we think about, hey, these are the things that we want out of life. We want to have long longevity, right? We want to live long. We want to be able to raise our kids the right way. We want to be able to be a part of a winning team, right? We want to be able to build things correctly, right? So in life, sometimes you get hit with the curveball, you get hit across the face, maybe in the jaw. All of those things happens, right? But it's up to those who know how to make the necessary adjustments in order to, propel themselves in the right direction. And on top of that, it's up to those who realizing that, hey, I need to rebuild in a sense, not destroy everything, but it's like kind of like a self-inventory, right? And this is what we need to do. We need to do a self-inventory. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Shout out to you, Sheila Neal, Tavis Banks. Also, who was the first person over here? Asmodeus Noel. Appreciate you for tuning in on this beautiful day, Cowboy Nation. And appreciate you. We're gonna go over some things of what we need to improve on, especially on the defensive side of the coin. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know. Okay, I got a thumbs up, so let me know I'm not talking just to myself. All right, so here's the situation, Cowboy Nation. We came into this season thinking that, of course, outside of the haters saying that, hey, this team should be better as it relates to overall chemistry. This team should be better as it relates to thinking outside of the box. The players, even themselves, were saying, hey, this defense will be able to play more comfortable. We can do more things. We can freestyle, freelance, or whatever you want to call it. We heard that from the likings of an Xavier Woods, Jalen Smith. We also heard that from Darian Thompson. He was saying that he was going to get the spotlight there and a whole bunch of things there. And we heard so many things as it relates to that. But when the reality came knocking at the door and said, hello, I'm here, I got a basket full of elbows and fists for you. And we're going to drop the elbow on you. We're going to punch you in between the eye. And the reality meets the expectations and nothing happened. Of course, we can all look at the pandemic. We can look at the fact that this coaching staff was new, right? Right? We can look at the coaching staff and we can have all of those bevy of excuses. But life, oh, good Lord. If anybody needs to know what life is all about, you can look at what this NFL season is about, right? Right? You can look at this particular year and say, man, this is life right here, Cowboy Nation. In a nutshell. This is life. This is what life is about. And this is what's going on. Because you can paint everything you want in a canvas and say, okay, it's pretty. You can have, what's that saying? You can plan a picnic, but you cannot predict the weather. There's a thing called a weather almanac. And you can go to that weather almanac and you can say, okay, it never rained on Thursday. On this such and such day, and you can plan that picnic, and by the time you set up everything, the clouds are there. The wind is blowing left and right. Shout out to Chris Blunt. He said excuses, yes, because life does not say, okay, we're going to fold and give to your excuses, right? It doesn't care about whatever you tried to plan. But it's up to those who prepare themselves better so that they can be ready for all of the pitfalls, for all of the shortcomings. So who should we build this defense around? Because I'm quite sure that the offense is okay. Because I hear a bevy of excuses with the offensive line. I hear the bevy of excuses with the quarterback situation. When you have the Brad Johnsons of the world that got a Super Bowl ring. When you have the Trent Diffords of the world that got a Super Bowl ring, right? We can go back and forth about the offensive side of the ball. And we can hear about, the offensive line. Is such in the shamble. But when you turn on the tape, when you look at the offensive line for the Barry Sanders, what he had to run behind, he never had a chance to run behind a caliber of a Connor Williams. He never had a Zach Martin on his team. He wished he had a half of a Zach Martin through his career. Let me know if I'm lying, right? So we can go back and forth. Where's the offensive line? Well, it's this, it's that. No, we not prepared. but here's the situation, Cowboy Nation. In order for us to plan better for the 2021, and I know that the few people that's going to be like, oh, Law, he's already talking about draft. He's already talking about the draft situation, and we halfway through the season. Mid-grade reports are out there where we no longer have a Diggs, right? Newsflash. They depended on Diggs, a rookie, a person who never have an NFL game in his career tallied up. Matter of fact, the Cowboys were so prepared for this year, they even prepared themselves for a rookie who was converted a wide receiver to a defensive back to be their end all be all. Let that sink in for a minute. Matter of fact, let that sink in for a couple of minutes, right? So we got to be prepared. So who do you build behind? You can say, okay, I looked at Diggs, I looked at his tape. Okay, he shows that he can be a ball hog, right? He had some missing opportunities because we knew for a fact that the guy was growing pains. He had to learn he had to build the plane while it was in the air, right? Martin says you build around Trevor Lawrence. That's a clever conversation there, Martin. But when you look up Trevor Lawrence scouting report, he stares down his receivers. He don't have the best accurate ball as it relates to the deep ball. And on top of that, he gets fluttered when the pressure's in his face. So you mean to tell me you're going to take a rookie and put him in a porous defense, and then on top of that with a porous offensive line? If you think that Trevor Lawrence can just come right on in and be better than what we got already, I got some land on the moon for sale. Trevor Lawrence got to go through a whole bunch. And trust me, it's not Smiley over here in Cowboys land, because he's going to have to go through a bunch and a gauntlet of what? Interview questions. I wouldn't trust a rookie behind his offensive line, right? You wouldn't trust a rookie behind his offensive line, right? Let me know if I'm lying. Look up his scouting report before y'all all say, hey, Trevor Lawrence. He stares down. He's a one-read guy. Believe it or not, like Ripley's, believe it or not, but he can get away with it in Clemson land. These boys are not studying football day in and day out. In Clemson, the opposing teams, they got to do homework and study other things. They got to graduate, get their engineering degrees and stuff like that. But is Trevor Lawrence a good talent? Yes. But I don't think that the Cowboys are willing to go all the way back, peel the Band-Aid off and say, okay, we're going to build behind Trevor Lawrence. He's 6'6" with a frailly frame. He get hit a couple times in the Cowboys land. He might fold up like a lawn chair. I'm just calling y'all a spade. And I trust me, I love young talent. But the reality of it is that he's going to have to be behind a better situation than what we got right here. Unless you're going to say to yourself, and I know that we don't have the patience for 3 to 4 years of development. All right, so here's the situation, Cowboy Nation. I think that the defensive side of the ball, you guys heard from Jerry Wayne Jones, I believe it was on Friday, and he said that he want to give Aldon Smith a long-term contract. He want to be able to put him into the mix for a longer period of situation. Now, I think Aldon is like 31, 30 years old or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. If you sign him for a longer deal than what he got now, that's cool or what have you. But that's just more putting lipstick on a pig, right? I like what he can bring to the table, but I like when Randy Gregory is out there as well. And of course, last week he said that what's this guy named Jalen Smith is the cornerstone of the defense or what have you. He's one of those centerpiece. I don't think that you build around Jalen. When me, Skywalker, and Kyle Ullman was on the show, I said that maybe if you can add 10 pounds or maybe 15 pounds to his frame, you can make him a specialist, have him rushing out to the edge. Somebody help me out. That's in the chat box. Did Clay Matthews drop into coverage a lot when he was playing throughout his career? Ruben, he says we need a good defensive tackle, then a good linebacker, and then the corner, will work his way out, build from within, and then go back. Yeah, yeah. I believe, like, I look at Neville Gallimore and I say, okay, yeah, he showed us some sparks. He showed us, scouting tape 101. Old scouts will always say, if you've seen it once, you can see it again. And dog it, shout out to you, Rue. When you see it from that perspective, that he did it against the guys that he did it against, man, it could go a long way. Now, I did hear some people say with Neville Gallimore that he had fresh legs and he was fresher than the opposing team, and that's why he was able to win. It don't work that way. The boy went through more than one or two plays. He did multiple plays of getting in the backfield. Now, what happened here in a natural world or in the scheme or what have you, in a good world or what have you, you would want to say, okay, if he was able to get in the backfield multiple times, and if he can do that on a consistent level, then guess what your corners can do? They can creep up a little bit closer. Your linebackers can understand that the ball is coming out a little closer. They can creep up a little bit. Now, this draft in the first round is heavy as it relates to the edge rushers. With the show of hands, anybody that can tell me right now, do we need any more edge rushers? Let me know. Do we need any more edge rushers? Because I can say this right here, Cowboy Nation. We still don't get a chance to see Bradley and I. And I think that Bradley got a high ceiling, but we still don't have a chance to put him into the rotation. Why, Law? Because we had an Everson Griffin earlier this year who played the right defensive end. Oh, we had Alden Smith who was owning his own over there, the right defensive end. Oh, now we have Randy Gregory back. Okay. And we already know that Dorrance Armstrong, DA, he's originally a right defensive end who's flipped over to the left defensive end. And he's having a solid year, not a great, not like a fantastic year, but we have D-Law on the left defensive end side. So what we had is too many people in the party as it relates to the right defensive end. And when you look up Bradley Anai's tape, he's more of a right than he can play on the left side. Now, sometimes people will look at it and say, well, the brother can play on both sides of the coin. Well, that's true. But that's not where his finesse at. That's not where his good spot at. For those who play football, playing on the opposing side, sometimes you would never admit it, especially when you're in the pros. But those who play football, playing on the opposing side, it's like all of a sudden you're right-handed and you're trying to write with your left. It's hard. There's only one or two players that can play on both sides. I think that they did it with a Reggie White, when he was coming up or what have you a long time ago. D Ware, he can play on both sides, switch to both sides. Even what was the return of the Mac guy over there in Chicagoland? He can play, but primarily he's gonna say, nah, coach, man, put me on the left side, man. I can't allow to kick it. This is where I can get off at on the ball. Come on, East Side. East Side all over there, man. I ain't gonna even repeat what you're saying, but let's see what Chris Blunt had to say. COVID got here in 2020, not 2019 or 2018 or 2017 or 2016. Oh, you're going all the way back to 2009. Leave us alone, Chris Blunt. But he's speaking bluntly though, which is cool. Khalil Mack, return of the Mack. Yeah. We are down to our thirds. Is that offensive line or we down to our third? But let me go over here. If we build within, like, let's say the big bodies, I think that Antoine Woods, they probably get him another, 1 or 2 year contract, but they probably be looking at it like, okay, how can I replace you? And that's just how football is, right? How can I get better production from you, basically? Because we can't fall ourselves in love with you, right? And then with the Tristan Hill situation, how can we replace you, right? Is it Neville Gallimore? Because next year, that will be his final year of his contract, I believe, or he probably have one more year, but we really don't know what we got out of a Tristan Hill if we want to speak real with everybody, right? His first year, he was redshirted. His second year, he was redshirted, basically, because he had limited snaps. And then even in his second year, yes, he showed us some sparks or what have you. Now his third year, it's going to be like, okay, prove it to me. And based off of his experience, by the end of the year, Navell Gallimore will have more snaps, more experience than Tristan Hill. So now they got to play this thing. Okay, your third year is going to be everything, because if not, then we're going to have to build something else around you in that spot. Shout out to Justin Hamilton, Natchez on, but Justin Hamilton showing us a little something here too. But in a nutshell, collectively speaking, would you call up and say, can we build around those guys? No, nobody would say to themselves they will build around those guys. Maybe in a pinch now for Gallimore. And if anybody say McCoy, I don't think that they probably bring him in for a cup of coffee, but I don't think that they will bring him in, basically. The guy's gone. He hurt himself, and they had this clause, and they got out of the contract. So now they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with that, right? So from my perspective is that they probably dig back into the draft. But the craziest thing of it all of the good interior defensive guys, you probably have to get them no more or no later than the second or third round. And I know fat boys, the big boys in a two-gap system, if they believe in Mike Nolan, then they will allow him to go get the guys that he needs. Let me repeat, they will allow him to go get the guys that he needs. I want you guys to close your eyes and imagine. Close your eyes and imagine Jamal. What was it? No, not Jamal. That's the running back. Ray Lewis. Who did he had in front of him? Saragusa, right? Sam Adams, big boys, even Holodi Nada, even his name sound like he's a load to move, right? So if you're going to try to build something, maybe you do go with the interior guys. There's a guy in Georgia named Jordan Davis, big boy, 330 pounds, maybe more. But I don't think that they would go with an interior guy of that size, that massive size. Jordan Davis, look him up. Just Google his highlights or what have you. But he is a good athletic guy, structured, really sound, and like immovable object almost. Young legs, right? I don't think that the Cowboys will go down that road again. I don't think that they will invest in a big boy like a Jordan Davis. But a Jordan Davis, a 6'5" Jordan Davis. Just think about it. Close your eyes and think about this. We know that Antoine Barbecue Woods or Twaka is a nice guy, but he's 310 pounds. He's big. He's big to the average guy like you and I. And I think he's right around 6'1". But Jordan Davis is 330, 6'5". I mean, he can lean over clogged old passing lanes. He can redirect, move stuff out from in front of him. You can do so many more setups with more and more opportunities with Jordan Davis. But there will be still some growing pains, but you pair him up right beside Gallimore, and now you have a hell of a 1-2 punch. I already explained the edge guys there, right? Oh my goodness. All right. So, and then if you still want to look into big boys, there's a guy in LSU land, Shelvin. You guys, he's 6'3". Hey, he's too huge. He's like 360, 370. Powerful. Two gap just destroyed it, Lean forward, he probably pushed their pocket back. Look him up. Tyler Shelvin. Tyler, let me see if I can copy his name and put it out there so you guys can read it, in the community box. I know some of y'all who love the big boys inside, but that's his name. Yeah, it should be somewhere down there. Yeah, there we go. It's on all of the platforms there. David Irvin signed with the Raiders. Maybe he bring him home during his offseason. It's for Martin. Nah, it's over with. It's over with. That ship done sailed with David Irvin. So, Law, you want to trade down for a few picks? Trading down for multiple picks. That is a wonderful philosophy. That's a wonderful philosophy, trading down. And also look at the Marvin Wilson kid and the Christian Barmore from Alabama. Look at those guys. And Jordan Davis is a nose tackle too, and we need that. This is from Tavis Banks, man. Really appreciate you, man. That's big old. That's a big old baby there. that Jordan Davis, man, that boy big right there. They probably had to go make. They probably had to go make a whole new uniform for that brother. You know, the price of his uniform would be two times, the double time. But yeah, he is a nose tackle. And I do like the bare front when they line up everybody, man on man or what have you. Had the 4 down linemen. I like that. I like the thinking outside of the box. What about safeties? This is from Michael Osborne. I'm gonna talk to you about the safety. Let me put Michael Osborne up there. What about the safeties? Here's the situation with safety. I'm trying to think who I got on my top as it relates to safeties that I let me see here. I do like the Georgia kid, Richard. I like the Paris Ford kid from Pitts. Here's the situation with safeties. I would prefer, and I know it's kind of like, man, come on, Law, you're just talking about, man, they need to invest in this safety situation. But I don't want to go into the safety groove and go through a whole nother year, maybe a year and a half of the growing pain. When you have the Donovan Wilson, I believe in Donovan Wilson. I just think that I like my dog Scott Walker approach. Going out there, getting a known commodity, a proven commodity, somebody that had already earned their grain of salt out there, and pair them up. Keep Donovan Wilson. Maybe you go get a Simmons. Maybe you go get whoever is on the free agent. I have to look up through the free agents. But yeah, Woods is gone. Woods is gone. You know, because if you think about it, if you have a guy like a Paris Ford who don't mind putting their nose deep down inside, getting dirty, getting nasty with a young buck, you know, maybe you can just say even at Paris Ford, lack of coverage ability, his willing and his heart and his determination and all of those other things, at least he will come down the inside and make somebody pay, right? Prove a point that he can be that guy that can take heads off, right? You know, maybe, just maybe, that enforcer, that impact, people who played the game or people who saw the game, that hit when you hit somebody and you knock them on, or you know what? It's just contagious. And the linebacker say, I want some too. And the cornerback say, hey, I want to get some too. And then the defensive edge guy, when the last time we had somebody that can go out there and peel a potato back, right? Can you just make somebody wig split? I'm talking old school stuff now, baby. You know, split the wig, baby. Peel the potato back. Peter roll somebody. I recall in 2016, I think that was the year. As much as we can talk about Odell, I call him Odella, but the tone setter was the situation, baby. I think that J.J. Wilcox, who was a safety that laid some wood for us, man, he had his shortfalls. He had his whole bunch of elements as it relates to coverage. But that play, let me know in the comment box if you guys remember, when J.J. Wilcox came around that middle and laid Odell Beckham out, laid him out like Family Guy. I believe in the hearts of hearts. The other wide receiver says, you must be crazy. You're going to call across the middle play again. Let me know. That sometimes one hit, and I know that the NFL changed even since then. You can barely look at the wide receivers coming across the middle. But I believe in the hearts of hearts that y'all remember that play? J.J. Wilcox, man, he laid Odell out. He laid him out all the way. I mean, he wasn't the same that whole entire year. I think it was 2016. Was it? Am I right? We won that game, by the way, because the other wide receiver said, "Hey, that's one of our best ones, man. Hey, if they do him like that, what they gonna do to me?" When the last time we had that threat? What Barry Church? When the last time we had a threat of somebody that could lay some wood? And I don't want to say Xavier Woods, because Xavier Woods, he's one of those hitters that will lay you out when you ain't looking. But when you see him and when you running straight towards him, he gonna try to get right beside you and do that drag down mess. JJ couldn't take the right angles. This is from let me read this. Yeah, JJ couldn't take the right angles, but he took the right angle that day. Can you imagine if we had a better JJ Wilcox out there? Defensive draft will be all about scheme next year. Who can fit into the scheme? Shout out to you, Robbie. Yeah. Scheme is everything. He was a good hitter. This is from Green. Yeah. We don't have no players like that anymore that's willing to put their foot into the throats, so they're willing to who we truly are. My only thing is the person that's really close to it, and I appreciate you, Chris Blunt, it is Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson, he will crack you. He will come down. Ask one of those Eagles guys, I think he caused the fumble on. He will come down and he will hit. Now, his issue is coming out of college. He do take some angles that kind of like, hey, what is that? Because he's overly aggressive. But what Wilcox had that nobody else had was that aggressive hitting power, right? But now Donovan Wilson on this particular team, what he got is that aggressive hitting power, and you can sprinkle in coverage. He got range. That brother he can get some turf up under his feet, and he can get to that edge regardless of which hash mark he is on. So I seen the range that Wilson got. But all I need for the Cowboys to do is give the brother a little bit more playing time, So keep him at his position where he at. May God make him continue to be healthy. Shout out to you, Sheila Neal. But somebody said Bill Bates, man, you go all the way back in the closet there, Ruben. Yeah, Bill Bates, man. Oh my goodness, Bill Bates, man, staple piece for this defense many moons ago. I mean, played the game the right way. Yeah, staple piece. But his situation, you keep him at his position, let him learn. I'm talking about Wilson. Let the brother learn, and you bring in a veteran guy to match up with him. But if you so happen to be in this particular draft, and if you get the Javon Holland, that's from Oregon, if he's on the board, another Trayvon from TCU. Y'all remember that kid from TCU? You get Trayvon. If you get him, and I see a lot of people from like the Cisco kid, Andre Cisco. I know y'all like him from Syracuse. Barber, if you get one of those dogs from Miami, if they fall within, like, you got to go with one of these safeties before the third round, right? Yeah, you don't want to go way too deep and say, well, I got this guy named what's his name? Let me see if I can pull up somebody's name. Joey Blunt from Virginia. You know what I'm saying? I got him, and we're gonna work with him, and we're gonna see if Joey Blunt can be that guy. Yeah. Trayvon, your name is Trayvon Green. Well, Trayvon, was it Mohig or Mohig? I'll snatch up his name. I'll mess up his name. Morhidge from TCU. The Trayvon. Let me just put his name and let me type it in there so you guys can look him up or what have you. He is center field too. He got good range from one of the limited tape that I was able to see. But he got good center field of vision, what have you. Let me see if you guys got that. Just Google him right quick. Yeah, TCU kid. Chris Brown, not the singer. Who you got Chris Brown as? You like him? Yeah, TCU. And I love the Texas kids. We down here in Texas, man, they play a little bit, They put that little effort to it. And the Florida boys too. I ain't gonna leave them out. You guys know how this thing goes. So whether we build around, who do we build around? Who do we set up? Who do we really look at and say to themselves, okay, this is what we need to do? So we got Trayvon Diggs, right? Do you bring back Cheeto Awuzie? Do you bring him back? Do you bring back Jordan Lewis? Do you bring back an Xavier Woods? I know a lot of people, they bring back Xavier Woods, they're going to be like, man, what's going on? Nine Dime in the house, fam. Appreciate you, fam. Shout out to you, Nine Dime. Appreciate you. You know, the craziest thing, Nine Dime, is when Big Game James describe you, and I see your picture up there on the photo right here. He described you to the T without seeing you, man. He said he always pictured Nine Dime being his big black brother with shades on, you know what I'm saying, in the corner smoking a cigar. And dog, you just that guy right there. All right. Robbie says need a Buda Baker or a Minka Fitzpatrick type of guy. I tell you what, before the draft season starts or what have you, I'm gonna give you guys my top 10 defensive backs. Then I'm gonna break those top 10 down to the top 5 safeties and then the top 5 cornerbacks. And when you think about cornerbacks, I love the Shaun Wade kid. And the more and more film I look up him, I said, man, I know that a lot of people on Patrick Surtain, but that Wade kid, he just so fluid, you know, at the top. And he can play the little deeper third, even when he's in the deeper thirds. He got the great vision and stuff like that. I like his ability, and not to sneeze at Patrick Surtain, but I just kind of like the Shaun Wade kid, and I loved his ability, man. He just quickly watches things. His ability to work freely out in space, and he's a press cover corner, you know. And then he can play in the zone as well. So I like all of those things and his twitches and his ability to be so god doggone aggressive, man. You know, I like Shaun Wade, man. Let me know who y'all got, man. Shaun Wade or you got Patrick Surtain. Now Patrick Surtain still above him a little bit, but let me know, man. If I wouldn't be that mad if we get a Shaun Wade. And this is from Mike Will says he didn't look bad when he moved to the he looked bad when he moved to the outside. I don't know, man. You know, within the confines, look at it from this defense. What we're going to utilize him with on this defense. Even if we in a pinch, are you talking about more Shaun Wade or are you talking about Surtain? Wade's hand down. Let me see, man. Let me get a poll from you guys, man. Let me get a poll from you guys, man. Do y'all like Wade or Surtain? Cheeto is the safety. We don't know what Cheeto is right now. Let me see who gonna come back. Who gonna combat my dog over here? Slow. Chuck D. Wade, man. Chuck D. Wade. Sheila D. Wade. Everybody Wade. Oh my goodness. Hunter Fox says Surtain all day. Woo! I can't wait to my. One thing I do like about this situation is that I'm gonna have fun regardless. You know. I'm gonna have fun regardless because y'all know I love defensive back, and now everything is like pivot and pin towards my area, like defensive backs and safeties. Now, if they do go with the interior big boys, I'll still be happy because I can know for sure that will help out. Look, the interior guy, if he's a healthy interior guy and a willing interior guy, that helps out the linebackers, that help out the safety, that help out the cornerback. So that's why I said the Jordan Davises of the worlds or what have you. So that's why I say those things. All right, so I'm back. So that's why I say those things. Farley. Caleb, let me tell y'all something about Caleb. Hold on right quick. Hold on. Woo. Coffee went down the wrong pipe over here. All right, so let me tell y'all something about Caleb. If you like physicality, he's there. If you like somebody who pretty much would know the field and what the quarterback is trying to do, he's there. And normally you don't get that from a cornerback, right? Normally, those converted quarterbacks that goes into play defensive side of the ball, maybe they become linebackers, maybe on the offensive side they become tight ends, or maybe they become a safety or something like that. But cornerback, man, that's something crazy. And he got some decent speed. Caleb is one of those guys that's going to be very intriguing because he flat out could be the best cornerback in his league, not his league, but coming out of this draft, but there's not a lot of tape on him as relates to this year because he didn't play. But I can say this: when you think about Caleb, just think about a guy that's cerebral, a guy that's got physical talent. He's 6'2". He's right at 200 pounds, so he can redirect. Yeah. Let me see him read some of his scouting report right quick because I'm gonna pull him up. I got to pull him up. I think he had an injury a couple years ago. It was ACL tour. That's bad. Let me see what Jay Versick says. Law, you should check out Players Lounge. They had some that came on Wednesday. Jesse Holly, Everson Walls. Shout out to him. Said something interesting stuff about Jerry Jones as a GM. Would you like their thoughts? Jay Versick, Players Lounge. Shoot me that link so I can check it out. Shoot me that link. 1 or 4-4 or 4-3 guy. So Caleb Fairley. Yeah. That boy bad at it. Oh, y'all love him, don't it? Y'all love him. Shoot me that link, Jay Versick, man. Post it in the comment box. And if y'all see it, just approve it. And so that I can see it. We don't need an offensive line. This is from Trayvon Green. I don't know about that one, man. I think we do need an offensive line. We need some help with that down the line. We will probably need some help with that. Let me see. Bam. For those who want to jump in, there's a link in the description box. Hit that link. Join in, post me your thoughts, and post me your concerns. I do this at the midway through this stream here, and I would like to know your thoughts. That link, you have to have a good Wi-Fi connection, good internet, and I get your thoughts, your opinions. You be part of the show. Just be respectful, and we get you in on the show, what have you. And then you can bounce around, pick my brain on players that we should take a look at. And I would really take a real good look at him. Pina Sewell. This is from Mr. Blue Zebra. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things too. I like him because you can just see the growth factor of having somebody like him, and maybe you'll finally do the right decision with Connor Williams, right? Appreciate you, Zeke, the pre-Elliott experience, man. Appreciate you, man. Law, what do you think about we're going to do in the second half of the season? We had momentum, good momentum, and then the bye week hit, and it will slow us down, and we will use Gilbert Grape or Dalton match in the gas tank. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think the second half of the season, they still going to be political a little bit. They're going to give Andy Dalton a cup of coffee with it. And when that ship doesn't sail, then I think that they'll give Gilbert another shot at it. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I would go ahead and give Gilbert the edge here and say, okay, I'm trying to build off of something. I'm trying to develop something. I'm trying to see whether or not I have a legitimate backup quarterback so that we will be prepared. Remember what I said earlier before the stream started and kicked off. it's better to be prepared. It's better to have, because life gonna throw you a bunch of excuses. Life is gonna throw you a bunch of, hey, you didn't get here because of this, and because of that. You only make a certain level of income because your daddy was a janitor. Or you only make a certain level of income because your mom was a housekeeper. No, 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 no. The beautiful thing about this country is that you can change anything that you want, regardless of your skin tone, regardless of your height, regardless of your where you grew up at, because there's examples of people that overcame. But if you fall into the trap saying, okay, I'm only going to make $30,000 a year at max because my daddy was a janitor, then that's where your limitations will be at. But if you thought outside of the box and say, okay, and this is just me giving the long round question for this. If you think outside of the box and say, okay, well, my daddy was a janitor, and my daddy wasn't, but I'm just trying to use an example here, meaning that he got over so many years of experience of janitorial stuff. Let me start my own janitorial business because I know everything in and out. Don't y'all know that if you have your own janitorial business, that's a 6-figure income? There's contracts that's out there that companies looking for people to sweep up stuff, to mop stuff, to clean stuff, right? But if you reshape your mind and say, I'm preparing myself because my father was a janitor, he knows all of the nicks, knacks, and crannies of how to be able to be janitorial stuff, that I can pick up some of those things and I can have my own janitorial business, a whole bunch of other stuff. But let me read what my guy, Macias. Have you seen the report of the Cowboy scout being at Lawrence and Fields game? Don't be surprised if we pull the trigger and don't see another W. I think that we still gonna pull the trigger, but I don't think that it's on the elements of not trying to win. I do think that it will be crazy for the Cowboys to be looking at this thing and say, we're not gonna do our homework because we so sold on Dak Prescott, right? I think that everybody is still going to do their homework, still have their scouts out there. Remember, leave no stone unturned, and still have your boys out there to see the Trevor Lawrence. Still have your boys out there to see Justin Fields. Still have your boys to see the Zach Wilson kid. Still have your boys to go out there who Trask. It may be one of those guys. I come here to tell you guys too. With quarterbacks, you never know. You will flat out never know. It could be Trey Lance. They're going to be the best quarterback coming out of 2021 season. It could be a Desmond Ridder. They can be the best quarterback that's out of this 2021 draft. It could be a Kenny Pickett. It could be any of those dogs that's out there as it relates to the quarterback play, depending on which system they go to. It could be Jamie Newman. Jamie Newman can go to the Patriots, and all of a sudden, everybody looking at it like, hey, man, you seen Jamie? Yeah, the kid from Georgia. Yeah, man, he's lighting it up, man. Yeah. Oh, why is he lighting it up? Because he goes all the way back. He goes all the way back to the Bill Parcells philosophy. He's a senior quarterback. Everybody else I just mentioned was either sophomores or junior. Jamie got the most experience. He can figure it up and pick up the NFL life probably quicker than anybody. I'm just saying. Football is what Brian Broader says is a strange lady. Right. Greg Barry says Ryan Leaf. Nobody's seen Ryan Leaf become Ryan Leaf. If they are, they lied. If people knew that Ryan Leaf was going to become Ryan Leaf, he wouldn't have been drafted in the first round, right? Oh my goodness. That's one offensive line out of 5. Robbie Radford. I'm sure if he was played between Tyron and Biotish, he would improve by default. Are you talking about Penna Sewell? Charles, Law, you think we got a chance of beating the Vikings? Uncle Charles, y'all. What's up, Uncle Charles? Man, any given Sunday, and I'm always with the mindset that we play to win. We play to win the game. Come on now. I mean, I know I get a lot of people. Look, I did the video, and I got so much hate mail from that video when I said I think that we should never tank. And I got so much hate mail from there, man. People calling me, oh man, you don't know Jack, you don't know this, this team should tank. And I love people's opinion, I love people's thoughts. I love them. I love them. But name me the team that tanked that won the Super Bowl. I'm waiting. And then you could probably pull up the teams and you can say, well, the Colts technically tanked for Andrew Luck, but did they win the Super Bowl though, right? And I know it's all about, picking up the right guy and the right guy from the draft, but young guys don't win you Super Bowls as well. You can build with the young roster. You can flat out build with the young roster. You can have all of these blue chip players or what have you. But if that was the case in the scenario, Jets would have multiple Super Bowls. The Browns would have multiple Super Bowls, right? You build through the draft, but you also get that veteran guy that help elevate those young guys. Because when the playoff time comes, you can't have those inexperienced guys out there. So I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to I'm trying to win every game, and I'm trying to build upon the players that I got. I am. The funnier part about it is that everybody looking at the Steelers record right now, and they saying, oh, they 8-0 or whatever their record is. They win in every game that they came across, and then you can argue and say, well, they play in the NFC East. or you can argue the fact that, they really haven't played a lot of heavy competition yet. But the reason why they are at where they are at right now is because they saw down the line that they needed safety help, right? They went and got Minkah Fitzpatrick last year. They didn't get him this year. They got him last year. Were they on pace to go into the Super Bowl last year? Let me know. Post that down in the comment box. I would draft lineman because Dak probably not going to be able to run as much as he used to. So the cornerback and linebackers are and you're going to keep their eyes on the tight end and receivers. So give Dak some time. Yeah. Give him some time for your mind. Yeah. Yeah. I think they only played 2 teams above 500. This is from Gray. Yeah. 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 Defense is priority number 1. I go all the way back and say, yes. Yes, defense is priority 1. Defense got to be priority 1 because, like I said, you can go back and look at the 2000 Ravens. I'm not saying that we're going to be them, or the 2001 Buccaneers. Not saying that we're going to be them. Or I can look at all of the Super Bowls that were won by the Patriots, the first 3 Super Bowls, sure, and say that, hell, they had good defenses, man. Not much more on the offensive side of the ball, but they had good defenses. Dak probably won't be back. JJ is going to take a look at the money and say, I can't have 2 top prospects and pay him 4 years what I would pay Dak in 1 year. This is from Macias. $4.99 for your mind. Really appreciate you. You're right. From a business aspect of it, you'll look at it and say to yourself, well, I can get this guy, this quarterback, for 5 years. For 5 years on a rookie's contract. And one can argue that it could be stretched out to 6 if you finagle some things in the final year or a franchise tag. Technically, am I right or wrong? Can you have a quarterback that you draft in the first round for 7 years if you really want to punch it to him? Because you can franchise tag twice, right? And then you can always finagle that thing out. Let me know if I'm wrong. Help me out. Help me out. But good observations. That's the business side of it. Y'all acting like we getting offensive line is easy. Took years for all our line to be great. This is from Trayvon Green, and he's speaking nothing but the truth. Offensive linemen, that's the one unit. And you can go back and watch my videos. That is the one unit that is graded as a complete unit, right? If you have chinks in the armor, at one piece of that unit, you're only strong as your weakest link, right? However that saying goes. So if I can beat Terrence Steele all day, It doesn't matter who I have on my left side, right? It doesn't matter who's my left guard, right? But if my right tackle is in my right guard, and I'm not saying Zach Martin is, but if my right side on the offensive line is terrible, then I got a terrible offensive line. If I got a center like an Andre Gerard, remember him? You just snap the ball way over the head, and he was better than the previous center. I forgot his name. It's the tip of my tongue. Then my whole offensive line is going to be judged as is, right? And there's the old saying, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? And if I have my quarterback or my running back that don't know how to really operate behind a certain offensive line, if they're not in the same groove, sync with the offensive line, then one can say, well, this is a bad offensive line. If I have a run power dominant offensive line and we do nothing but passing, then guess what? We got a bad offensive line, right? You know, there's so many things. And here's the problem. Here's the flat out problem. We will look at this offensive line and say, they trash, it's poor, it's horrible. But I can guarantee you, if you put Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator for this offensive line, people will be looking at it differently. People will be flat out looking at it differently. Like, man, this offensive line, they're getting off the ball, they firing down, they're hitting people. I said in my previous video, offensive tackles, offensive linemen, when they pull, when they get out in space and they see that linebacker that's 240 pounds, what do you think they're going to do? They getting their eyes green. And regardless, he could be drafted. He could be an undrafted guy. If I'm 330 and I'm coming at somebody that's 240, if I'm coming at especially a cornerback that's 185, boy, I'm having my highlight tape finna be shown all over ESPN. Like, offensive linemen's news flash. They love to run block. So even if you had Kyle Shanahan, I guarantee you people would be looking at Ezekiel Elliott different. People would be looking at Tony Pollard different. People would be looking at Rico different. I guarantee you, it will be more creative plays. But that didn't just happen overnight with Kyle Shanahan or whatever his name is. I hope I say the name right. He came through experience. He learned from his daddy. He learned from being around football operations. But what we do as Cowboys fans, we will look at Kellen Moore at his beginning stage of his career as an offensive coordinator, that which falls on the GM and the owner, what have you, saying he's brilliant. But there's defensive coordinators that forgot more than Kellen Moore knows, right? And he's limited in the sense, and we can see some sparks from Kellen Moore doing some great jobs or what have you, but at his limited knowledge, it's not much more that he can be able to produce and showcase. And it was us sitting back saying, brilliant plan. Not all young coaches are the same, because I know somebody gonna say, well, what's the coach over there in Rams land? What's that coach name? Help me out. Post his name down below. He's a young coach. What's his name? The coach down there at Rams land. They look at it and say, okay, McVay. Yeah, they look at McVay. He's young. He's doing it. But no, McVay wasn't the head coach or offensive coordinator his second year ever, or his first year, whatever, ever. Being an offensive coordinator, he had to earn his way to get to where he's at. Even Kyle Shanahan, they had to earn their way to get to where they at. But it is what it is. Mercedes says, Law, do you think the coach tanking? But they have been a lot closer to getting back to the Super Bowl with luck than we had in 2 AFC championship games. They have been to the 2 AFC championship games. I don't even think that the coach tanked to get Andrew Luck. I just think that they fell into a situation where they lost their quarterback. I'm just using that as an example. But they lost their Peyton Manning, and they was putting a guy out there named Painter. I think they're putting everybody out there that they could find. And the defense for the Colts always been porous, and you had a whole bunch of slew of things that happened, and it was a perfect storm for them to get Andrew Luck. And they could have got RG3, but they went and got Andrew Luck, and they went on this quote-unquote run. It went on this run, and it just happened good for them. RC Cowboys, shout out to you, man. He says, we take it 100, fam. I feel you, man. I feel you, man. Uncle Charles says, I'm tired of Jerry Jones opening his mouth. Every time he talks, he gets worse, and we need a divine intervention to go Cowboys. Uncle Charles. Yeah, he do open up his mouth. Shout out to you, my dog, Ryan Coleman. It's my brother from the same mother. What's good with you, man? He says injuries. Got to elaborate a little bit more. Are you talking about injuries for the Cowboys, or are you talking about injuries for the for your team? Because I know you're a Cowboys fan. Hold on for a second. All right, I fixed it. Okay, so for the Colts, oh man, side conversation. Shoot, man. If you're free, man, click the link, Ryan. Click the link, man. Jump on into this thing, man. Click the link. You see the link in the description box, man. Jump on that. I want to know your thoughts, man. You got good thoughts over there. The entire season is injuries. Yeah, that's why I think Babe Laufenberg says for this year, for 2020, he said he don't think that you should fire any of the coaches. You should take everything as a mulligan and just wait for next year to see what you have and what you got. You know, the Colts got hurt and had aging players. Are you talking about present day, or are you talking about back in the past? We need Law doing these Jones's weekly interviews, laugh out loud, speaking the truth. Stop getting these lies. Yeah, yeah. We do. We flat out do. I didn't get a chance to do the, and I'm surprised I got time now to talk to you all. Just been one whirl of a weekend here. Let me see. I got Eastside Harold, man. You want to jump in here, man? Let me listen to what you got to say, man. Let me see if I can circumvent this a better way. I'm gonna get you in here, Eastside. Just bear with me. Yeah, Eastside, you in there? Talk to me.
Hey man, it's your boy Eastside.
You live in the flesh, man. Talk to me. You live on the nation. Everybody know who you root for, so you don't have to go into details, but talk to me.
Hey man, you doing a lot of draft talk, man. You know the season not over with, man. It's like
Hold on. Do you know? Do you know, Ryan? I'm gonna bring you in a few. Do you know? Your team need to be doing some draft talking too.
hey, man, it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over. What
Yeah.
you got, man? What you got for the show before I bring my dog over here, Ryan?
Man, I'm just talking shit, man. I just came in. What you gonna think about the Texas when they beat the Browns? Are you gonna feel a little differently?
Will y'all beat the Browns?
Yeah. Are you gonna give us our due?
I'll give y'all a cookie, man. You know, I'll give y'all a cookie, man. But appreciate you, East Side, man. Talk
Yeah,
to you
man.
later, fam.
That's a bit.
Peace. All right, Ryan. What's good, man?
What's cracking, man? Can you hear me good?
I can hear you good, man. You know, what's good with you, man?
Now I was telling you, I think you was talking about the Colts, and I was saying the only reason why they got luck was because they had like that 10 to 12 year window of great football, but then injuries and then also retirement. You had like Bob Sanders was getting hurt, Dwight Freeney that was getting hurt, Matthews had got a high contract, wasn't really producing like he once was. You had Reggie Wayne, you know what I'm saying, moving on, Marvin Harrison retiring. So like they had that perfect transition where you had older players moving out and then injuries coming in, then with the quarterback aging and getting hurt. So now you were set up for Andrew Luck. So it wasn't like all of a sudden they were tanking. Like, nah, that wasn't the culture in Indianapolis. That didn't happen that way. So yeah.
Hold on, let me laugh at some of the people, man. Everybody calling you Big Sean, man.
I get that a
Now,
lot, so I can't say nothing. Hey, bro,
now,
me
now, now
James
we
Harden, I'm
now,
over here
now, now
shut.
we blood brothers now. We blood brothers kept from the same womb, and I'm James Harden and you Big Sean. So Mama got something explaining to do. Oh my
I'm a
goodness,
Detroit
man.
representative, huh? Hey,
Oh my goodness, man. But it's all good, man. I know that now you did bring up some wonderful points as it relates to that. You know, perfect storm. Not everybody get those perfect storms. I think that the Green Bay Packers had that perfect storm, right? They got rid of
yeah,
Brett Favre, then you hear Aaron Rodgers, and then you know with the same situation with the Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning left, and then here come Andrew Luck. You can probably say that a little bit with the Dallas Cowboys because as soon as Romo left, you had Dak Prescott, so you didn't have that long window of like bad boo-boo play with quarterbacks, right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I
So
think y'all issue was with coaching.
with coaching. So now we have a different coach in the mix, and we have some of the similar problems. Is this from the outside looking in? Because I know you're not a Cowboys fan, by the way. From the
Man, I'm a
outside looking
49er
in,
gang.
yeah, you 49er gang. You know, I can't stand y'all 41ers. I can't stand. So we play y'all this year. I can't stand. I'm gonna be rooting against y'all. I can't wait to play y'all. I still want to see. That's why I don't want us to tank. See, everybody else be thinking like, the Cowboys should tank. But there's teams, and you know, without a shadow of a doubt, I can't stand those Steelers. I can't stand those Eagles, and I definitely can't stand those 41ers. You know.
I feel you. I feel you. But see, with the Cowboys, I don't think y'all should tank, man. I think y'all really should be able to start building a
Right.
culture within y'all organization, especially with y'all locker room when it comes to like y'all defensive and offensive line, period. Like whoever y'all
Mhm.
offensive line coach is and y'all defensive line coaches, they need to have a long talk and really say, okay, this year we need to be able to develop technique. We need to be able to develop a culture with our personnel that we're going to keep for next year. So whenever we bring in these guys, whether they're off the practice squad or free agents or we're drafting them, we got to be able to teach great passing, pass blocking technique or defensive engagement and things of that nature so that y'all can be able to implement whether people are coming in or coming out. Hey, this is our system. This is what we're going to do, and this is what we're going to stick to doing. You know what I mean? So it can be interchangeable for years to come and not just about how great a player is supposed to be because injuries are going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, injuries are. So with that being said, you know, how do you feel about Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, all two running backs? If we were to be able to switch situations and we give the 49ers Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, how would they use them?
I think Ezekiel should become more of a power back. Look at the system. Okay, look at the Saints for instance. I would turn Ezekiel Elliott to like an Ingram type of player when he was with the Saints a couple years ago, and have Alvin Kamara turn taller. Tony Pollard to that type of player. You know what I'm saying? Second and third down back, catching out the backfield, running a lot of sweeps and zones and things of that nature. And I would just use Ezekiel. I know his price tag says 20 to 25 carries, but as y'all can see, the production is not what it should be, or he doesn't give you those big plays or chunk yards like it once was. So for right now, I think you should implement that type of the system with both of them in there together.
Right, the dual back system. Okay,
That
yeah,
dual back, man. Because Zeke, man, I don't know what was up with him. It seemed like he's 3-8 yards at the most. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, he's not really giving you no excitement, no really enthusiasm. I think people feed off Tony Pollard. He give you those nice dynamic plays. He catch out of the backfield, give you a little shook, a little jive. And I think his teammates feed off of him a lot more. Something about when Zeke run, when he used to do this right here, everybody got amped. Now when he do it, everybody like, yeah,
yeah, like dog,
you know what
man.
I'm saying? Yeah.
You already ate, man. Don't do the feed me
You
side. You don't look hungry. He ate. You do, dog. You ate, dog.
hey, ain't nothing
So
on the bone no more, Zeke.
let somebody else eat. But here's the thing. I love his. I still love his skill set. I just think that we just not utilizing him the right way, and I think that the offensive coordinator don't know how to put him in right situations. And we can talk about offensive lines, but how do you counteract offensive line play? Right? You know, maybe you don't have to match power with power. Maybe you have to be more creative and get the guy on a different type of situation.
See, I think they messed it up early in the year where they only use Zeke in the power back system for just straight I formation, straight, you
Right.
know what I'm saying, lead dives or lead draws and things of that nature. They never really disguised Zeke. They were like, okay, your talent, our line is going to create your gaps and your holes for you to run in, instead of being more creative and using, the options, or, you having the motion routes to kind of get him
Mhm.
space. And I think they taken for granted, um, they thought his ability was going to keep him progressing in the run game, but as we can see, it's not giving him those 2 to 3 yards where he can just hit holes and then we'll go away. So I think they should have done, like, say, whether it's Tony Pollard in the backfield, or some options with CD Lamb, or some fix to get the defense second guessing and not be able to read and react. You want them to read and be hesitant for not just a second, but maybe a second and a half when it comes to Zeke now. And I think they kind of, what's his name, Kellen Moore, kind of got relaxed and just made sure the offensive game and the passing was a lot more creative, and not necessarily taking that same type of attitude when it comes to the run game.
Right. Right. So I got a question over here from Trayvon, man. He says, hey, man, Zeke having one bad year and y'all want his head on a platter, right?
It's not about his head on the platter. It's about right now. Nobody cares what you did last year. It's a, what are you doing for me
Mm.
now? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if I had a woman, you know what I'm saying, and she used to cook me
Uh-oh.
breakfast all day long, 2-3 days a week, and I'm having sex 5 days a week, if she stopped giving me some coochie for the next month, y'all ain't gonna be like, well, she just having a bad month. You gonna be upset. Your nuts gonna be heavy. Your stomach gonna be, be empty. So you be like, hey, baby, hey, feed me, sweetheart. You know what I'm
I
saying?
wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, man.
Hey, look, we ain't gonna be that passive then, Chris. Look, be like, hey, baby, I don't know what's wrong with you, but them jaws still fine, right? Look, hey, Zeke. Hey, we gotta
She
do
better
something
get.
different.
So wait a minute. She holding out. You like, wait a minute,
Yo,
baby.
hey,
Hold on.
hey, babe, you need some supplements. You need some honey goat weed. You need to eat some agave. What's on?
Oh my goodness, man. For the top rope, man. Hey, if y'all got that analogy, mama, I hope you ain't watching. They ain't me. They with me this time. Mama watch these shows.
Hey, look, mama knows she got a lot of grandbabies for a reason, god dog it.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. He said, Mama, you know why you got all these grandbabies now? I know. Baby, you better get in the kitchen. Get in the kitchen. So I'm gonna tell sister-in-law, I'm like, hey, you must have been in that kitchen, But you're right, man. What can you do for me now? Not what you did for me last week.
Now,
I want
that's
stuff
all I'm
done
saying.
now. But
See, my boy Terrence agree.
hey, man, everybody weak, man. Everybody weak over here, man. Oh my goodness, man. I wasn't ready for it. I said, man, I'm still drinking my coffee. It's still early in the morning. I'm trying to do this before the kids wake up. And I said, like, man, my brother, he calls in, he give me all of this good stuff, man. Hey, Shay says nothing worse than having an empty stomach and heavy nuts. Oh man, hey
See,
man.
hey, I knew all the men gonna relate to that. Hey, I knew I was gonna relate to that, boy.
You gonna kill me over here, man. You gonna kill me over here, man. Oh my goodness, man. This is not the late night hype. This is the early morning hype now, man.
Hey, they look,
All
hey,
of
this
you
like, hey, Chris, so look, I mean, look, this like Saturday morning cartoons, man. Look, gotta get your wide eye and bushy tail early.
yeah, early, man. Gosh, man, my
Be doing
goodness,
his last
man.
thing. Y'all want him to run for? Nah, nobody want to run. Nah, man. Look, we just not going
Oh,
to accept mediocrity. That's all I'm saying, Trayvon. Look, LeBron James, if he go out there and have 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists, we gonna be like, that's good, but you LeBron. You know what I'm saying? No matter who you is. So Zeke just has that type of price tag, that type of expectation on him. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. Let me swing it over here, man. You got some more time though, right, fam? You got time? You
Yeah,
good
I'm
on time?
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the title, and now this is good because you're not a Cowboys fan. It'll be a different story than if you was a Cowboys fan. So now we can get some good stuff from the outside looking in. The title of my video is who should the Cowboys build around on the defensive side of the ball? Are you a safeties guy, a cornerback guy, linebacker guy, or are you a front five or front four guy, I meant to say?
It's your division, be honest with you. All
It's
right.
your division,
So
okay?
your division will predict at least 6 wins, right? If you can take care of your division at 6 wins right off the bat, what
True.
are the strengths within your division? So wherever your strengths are, or the tendencies in your division, I would begin to build my defense according to that. You know what I'm saying? So I can say, okay, I can rest assured that my team will get the repetitions and have the understanding that this is how we're going to play to beat those foes in our division. You know what I'm saying? So um whether it's run heavy with the New York Giants, where you got like what's his name, Saquon, and you got the running quarterback
Saquon.
as well a little bit. Okay, so you know you need defensive linemen and you need linebackers. You know what I'm saying? And then also you need them to have the ability to read and react. Because even with the Eagles, they do a lot of RPOs from time to time. They spread you out. So I need my defensive line and my linebackers first to be on point. I need to be able to have my edge rushers, and I need to have a fat dude in the middle to clog up the paint. You know what I'm saying?
Big
And I
boy,
gotta
yeah.
have my middle linebacker, who your middle linebacker is now. Is it
It's
the Smith
Jalen right
guy?
now. It's
Jalen.
Jalen Smith. Yeah. I like your dog, man. Give me Fred Warner, man, real quick, man.
Oh nah, bro.
Give me
Nah,
Fred
man.
Warner,
Don't
real
give
quick.
me. Hey,
I give you Jalen Smith, Sean Lee, and I'll throw in Joe Thomas right now for Fred Warner, right quick, man. Give me Fred Warner.
and
Come on, give me
hey,
Fred Warner. Come on, man.
that's a great pickup, but y'all, we need him because our defense is suffering right now. But
Yeah.
like, that's who you need. You need, but to me, I think he commands a lot better than Jalen as far as communicating. I think
Right.
him and Jalen athletically probably about the same, but I think his processor works a little bit fast. You know what I'm saying? A little faster, and I think he can read and see and communicate with his linebackers, and I mean his front line and his DBs a lot better. So if I was y'all, I'd definitely be worried about getting y'all linebacker core straight and some defensive tackle help, man, right now. Like y'all need a D tackle. I don't know who y'all D tackle is, but he ain't worth a dime. Y'all need a D tackle and an interchangeable D tackle. Y'all need at least two of them, and then start building on the outside from there. So middle linebacker, the inside rush with your defensive tackle, and then you can get edge rushers because they're coming a dime a dozen nowadays because they're specialty guys.
Okay. So build from the inside out, and then maybe look at another linebacker. See what happened here is that we over, bloviate, or we over um how can I put this? Stamp the interior guys that we got. We got a guy named Antoine Woods. We got a guy that was interchangeable at the time, was Poe, and they got rid of him. And now we got the kid, man, from our neck of the wood, Justin Hamilton, man. He's doing a great job. He's a motor guy, he's an effort guy. So
Yeah.
he
But
moved the
see, I
stuff around.
think y'all mentality was bad this offseason, if you ask me.
Talk
Poe
to me.
came from Poe came from Carolina, and McCoy came from Carolina. Carolina had the 28th ranked defense rushing defense last year. So I don't know who was observing that, but the two guys who were just brought into the Carolina Panthers the year before to be run stoppers was ran over. And then y'all picked both of them up. And I don't know why they expect different results, but if you could tell, they wasn't game changers in Carolina. And then they wasn't game changers. I know, McCoy got hurt, but he wasn't a game changer when he was playing last year healthy. So I think those two evaluations to come into defense that was trying to set a new standard, I don't think those two pillars that you guys needed to go forth and progress in, even within this year.
Man, God, dog, boy, you spitting truth right there. I didn't even look at
I'm
that.
just saying,
I think somebody
Carolina
mentioned
had,
it before, but I was like, I was looking at only the talent aspect of it. Didn't look at the rankings of their defense from the interior, especially last year from the Carolina.
they got
That's good
ran
stuff, man.
over all last year. All last
They
year.
did.
So terrible, man. So yeah, that's why I started following you guys, man. Just who's y'all offensive line coach? I mean, y'all defensive line coach too, though, man. I think that's important too.
Your guy, man, Tom Sula.
Thomas
You
Sula.
remember? You see, we
Yeah,
we
I know
we
he was on.
played,
He was
y'all used to have Mike Nolan, right? Y'all used
Mike
to have
Nolan,
Tom
and he
Sula.
got fired really, really quick,
Yeah.
really fast. And Tom Sula, I think he had more. He had more talent on the defensive line than you guys had. But even then, I don't think y'all guys fit well. If you just asking me, I don't think y'all got more so guys who by name sound good, but I think just by functionality, I don't think you guys got enough of those guys in there who knew how to just say, this is what you're going to do. And I don't care about you being able to do none of these other things. I just need y'all to do this, and that's it. And I think that has to be the culture that your defensive line coach shares with the team. And if you ask me.
Yeah, man. Shoot, you spitting nothing but the truth, man. They even putting it down in the box, man. Facts, man. Dog, you need to start your YouTube channel, man. Maybe call it Ryan Nation or something. You know,
Man, I got
maybe,
man,
I know you got all the kids over there,
I
man.
got 4 kids. But
Oh
hey,
my
look,
goodness.
I just love watching you do your thing, man. So anytime I have opportunity to see you, man, spit knowledge, man, and share that information with people, man, I think it's very important, man. And so, hey, I tell you guys, man, I got a lot of Cowboy fans here in where I live at, and I always let them know, man, y'all just got to go back to the basics, rebuild right now, start rebuilding, and it's okay. Limit your expectations is one thing. And don't tank though, but create a culture, create that environment. And so when other players see in the offseason, they begin to talk, why do you want to come to the Cowboys? Is it because of the star, or is it because they're building something there that's going to be lasting? You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah,
building something that's going to a winning culture, winning attitude, and it's just not about the star, but it's about them W's, man. Y'all need
about
them
them
W's,
W.
about them
Yeah,
dubs,
yeah.
man.
Because that's what I've been trying to tell them, Brian. I've been saying, like, man, team that won the Super Bowl last year. Who won the Super Bowl last year? I forgot already. Oh, the Chiefs. Chiefs won the Super
Chiefs.
Bowl, right? They didn't tank to get
Yeah.
there. They didn't tank to get
No.
Pat Mahomes, right? They did some.
But
Look,
hey,
this is the craziest thing though, Ryan. You know what? I started looking at it. I said, man, every team that won a Super Bowl as of lately, they've been dabbing into this free agency, man. They get a few players, not a whole bunch of them, but they just get them one or two free players,
one or two.
one or two
Yeah.
of them.
But you got to think about Andy Reid, right? So he was in your division for 15 years, correct? He was
That's
in
a
the
long time.
AFC. Nobody's going to talk about he was here Alex Smith for the last 4 years. Won 11 games every year. Every year, 11 games, right? 11 years
Yeah.
again. They got put out first or maybe second round, but every year. They have the culture already there. So when a Mahomes come, when a Tyreek Hill come, they already seen a winning attitude. They always had a culture of doing your job, being creative. And so then when they got the better players, it just elevated to another level. And I think that's what people got to realize. They only think, oh, well, they won last year, that they were already good. No, that team been good in that division for the last 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And then they
Mm-hmm.
just constantly got better and better and better. You know what I mean? And then other teams, other people, Tyrann Mathieu, he was a throwaway. He came in and bought into the culture there. You see what I'm saying? The defensive line, they got the big boy, D Ford. He came from Seattle. Great culture. Came in. Not D4, but the other guy. I forgot his name though.
Frank
But
Wright. I don't know if one of them guys. I think D Ford or Frank
yeah,
Wright. I think D Ford on your
yeah.
team. That's something like that. I
Yeah,
forgot.
the Frank guy, you right, the Frank. He
Yeah.
came in as a defensive end. He's came different, you know what I'm saying? And so they got good players, but also created that culture that was already there. Well, they emphasized the culture that was already there and won. That's what I think the Dallas need to do. You know what I'm saying? Have a culture, and then you will get people because of the star, but you want to get the right people because of the star.
Man, we talk about culture, man, at the first part of the year. And it's like, hey, man, we don't want to bring in Earl Thomas. He would destroy the culture. So, then I feel what you said, though. But, hey, it's just one of those things, bro, man, that Frank Clark, I said Frank Wright, man. I got some people that, man, that knows football more than I do, man. They said
Appreciate it,
Frank
Chuck.
Clark. Yeah, you appreciate Chuck, man. When you said
Yeah.
Frank Wright, I don't know what I'm thinking about, But you're right. The culture, man, establishing the culture. I was telling people before you got in is that the Steelers, when they got Minka Fitzpatrick, they wasn't going to win the Super Bowl last year, but they was thinking ahead of time. They knew that anybody in this draft wasn't going to be close to what he can get from him, right? So they invested in that piece, and they said, okay, now we got our secondary. Our front four is already good, or Dupree, and you got TJ Watt, you got the other Haywood kid. So you got everybody up front, and you got some decent cornerbacks. When they got the veteran guy Hayden or whatever. So now we just put the centerpiece as it relates to Minka Fitzpatrick. Now here's the situation: they still haven't played a legitimate team, but we'll figure that out down the line. They will figure it out down the line. So what I want the Cowboys to do is technically don't look at everything as a wash for this season. That's why I was saying
Yeah.
right before the trade deadline, go get a Quentin Williams. Go get somebody that you can put around this team to help elevate this team. So now when you go into the draft, you have a better situation as it relates to who you're going to build around. Now what we're going to build around is a guy with a broken foot, Trayvon Diggs. We don't know. We just don't know who else we're going to build around on the defensive side of the ball. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, I think if people look at the Steelers, honestly, I don't like the Steelers myself, but they
Right.
lost Shazier 2 years ago. Middle linebacker was balling. You see what I'm saying? But they just started to slowly implement new pieces around the defense that was already there. You know what I mean? And they didn't allow that mediocrity, that just that type of mindset to go inside of the culture, because the standard in Steeler Nation is win or nothing. You know what I mean? So I think the same thing has to be in your culture, though. It has to be in your DNA. And I think that's the same thing the Cowboys got to realize. Hey, it's not about even what do we look like when we're losing, and how can
Right.
we continue to progress while we're losing. You know what I mean? So even the Steelers play against a team that's good and lose, they got enough foundation pieces to say, okay, tweak this, adjust this on, you know what I'm saying, and do this, and they can still get better. Same thing with the Ravens. They do the same thing. They lost a lot of pieces, but the mentality is still there. So whenever they do certain things, it's easily accessible. You can teach it. You can go home with your homeboy, say, this is what we're doing on this play. This is why we're doing this. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? This is why we need to learn how to communicate these type of looks on defense. You know what I mean? And so it's more it's easily able to be applied in different areas when you're playing the upper echelons of teams. So that's what I think really needs to happen, not only when you guys are in the stadium, but outside the stadium as well.
Man, most certainly, man. They did say the Steelers did beat the Ravens. So hey, okay. Yeah, they beat a good team. What else you got for the show, man? What else you got for the show, man?
Hey man, nothing really, man. I just want to say keep doing your thing, Brody, man. Keep holding it down. And I said, look, y'all just gotta keep on. I don't know what y'all gonna do this year, but just try to learn as much as you can, man. Get as much comfortable with the offense. If Mike McCarthy ain't going nowhere, stay in y'all playbook. If the
Yeah.
defensive line coach ain't going nowhere, get really familiar with y'all defensive playbook. You know what I'm saying? And just really, I remember one good defensive lineman said, I have to know every position on the field. I got to
Mm-hmm.
know the corners. I got to know the safeties. I got to know the linebackers. I got to know my linemen. So if I can understand what everybody's supposed to do when I'm doing my job, and I can see something, I can communicate that towards all three levels, and that has to go from the safety all the way to the defensive tackle. That just have to be the common thread amongst everybody on all three levels. And so whatever your team is doing, make sure everybody's understanding everybody's position and what they have to do over the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, man, that's some good stuff, man. Before I let you roll up out of here, man, who do you got coming out of the draft as the top players for the NBA? Is it LaMelo? You think he's gonna go first, or the Wiseman kid? Who you think?
Hey, honestly, man, I think it's a roll of the dice. I think nobody is like has that great separation. So I think, to me, you don't. Wiseman seems like a good player if you want a big man,
Mm-hmm.
but the league that we play today, it's always 3 and D. And so
Mm-hmm.
if you want to play towards the strength of the league, I would say get Anthony Edwards, if you ask me, because he's
Okay.
a shifty player. He got a little handle. He can pull up and pop and stop and so on and so forth. So if I'm just trying to get a player to fit the league today, it will be Edwards. If I want
Okay.
somebody to come in and bring people to the stands, I get LaMelo. If I want to create a defensive culture and attitude, I'll get Wiseman.
Okay, because that Edwards kid, man, his ceiling is like Wade, right? And then his floor is like Deion Waiters. So it's like
Man, I guess we got froze a little bit.
Yeah, man. I think I lost you, man, right quick, man. But I guess that's what we get for talking about other sports, man.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened, man. I think we got frozen, but I'm gonna let you go.
We gonna get up out of here, man. The Illuminati, man. We start talking NBA. They say, hold on now. You only stick to one sport, man. Stick to one sport.
Hey,
So
cut. They were like, cut that off.
but a lot of people are agreeing with you, man. And
Hey,
it is what it is.
all right then, big bro. Hold it down. Tell everybody beer gang in the game, baby. Running the family, baby. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You get the baby beard right now, but I already know your thing can get just like mine, bro.
Hey, don't worry. When I come down to Dallas next year, we're gonna be over there. Hey, check out coming soon to y'all in the summer of 2021, the Beer Game Podcast, man.
Beer Game Podcast. Salute, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Peace out. Love y'all. Take it easy. Bye.
Peace. That's my dog right there, man. All right, y'all, man. I didn't y'all couldn't even hear him. Oh, my bad. Well, he was saying some good stuff at the end there. He said, watch out for the 2021 season, and he probably come on down, and we do some things, more podcasts together with better internet stuff like that. So that's all the time that I have for right now. I really appreciate you all. Thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, let friends, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and Beyond. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me, man, so I can properly evaluate this thing. Let me see. Can you all hear me? Oh my goodness, man. It was a good show, man. Let me know. Especially whenever week we play the 49ers, I'm gonna have to call them up, bring them on to the show, and we'll talk about everything from there. If this is your first time watching this thing, hit that like button, share this content, let friends, neighbor, foes know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and Beyond. Oh, I try to throw in some basketball. You saw me. I try to throw him a little curveball, see if he's still on his stuff, and he was. And then that's when the thing all froze up. But I really appreciate y'all thoughts. Appreciate your opinions. Appreciate the Q&A. Thank those who called in. Thank those who donated. There's always a saying that I say, when you up against the struggles, meet it squarely, face to face, lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet, and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fall, you may conquer, see it through. Black may be the clouds about you, and your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim, as worse is bound to happen in spite of all that you do. Remember, Cowboy Nation, running from it will not save you. See this thing through all the way to the end, Cowboy Nation. Remember, we just facing what other legends have met. Do I have to go down the legends like the Michael Irvin, the Roger Staubachs, the Troy Aikmans of the world, the Emmitt Smiths, even Tony Romo, Jason Witten, we facing what other people have met, but just got to keep your head high, eyes through the finish, see this thing all the way through. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. I would have my outro music, but I'm live on this platform. I got another piece of equipment that's coming in that will be able to feed the music through this app that I'm using, StreamYard. But I really appreciate everybody that tuned in, and do me a huge favor, because I'm saying this right at the end. Appreciate you, Ruben. I appreciate this, and I'm saying this at the end for those who got your top 5 draft pick, regardless of positions. You can list me all of the 5 quarterbacks, for crying out loud. But once this stream is over with, post me your top 5 candidates that you would love to see on the Dallas Cowboys. Whether it could be, I tell you what, top 5 and one, like the outside of the top 5, one like dark horse or somebody that you got like as a project pet that you would like for the Cowboys to get in the 3rd and the 4th round. Because I believe that there's more Hall of Famers in the National Football League that's out of the 2nd and the 3rd round. Let me know if I'm wrong. So shout out to you, Quest Elohim. So go out there and post me your top 5 guys, whether it be, I'm about to say Patrick Mahomes, whether it be a Trevor Lawrence, whether it be a Caleb Farley, whether it be Jordan Davis, whether it be a Parrish Ford or what have you, and then out of the 5 guys, give me your one scenario of your 3rd round guy, your 4th round guy, or maybe your 2nd round guy that you really, really, really want the Cowboys to get. Help me out, and then I'll look up some film, some independent stuff. And you trust me, y'all know I'm leaning more towards defense than offense. All right, Cowboy Nation. I like JC Horn. See, yeah. So y'all post me all of those wonderful thoughts, and y'all post me all of your wonderful information here, so that we can get this thing out the best way, the right way possible. And let's go, Cowboy Nation. Yeah, let's go. For those who don't know, JC Horn is from Carolina, the Carolina Tapes, South Carolina, I believe. And Ashantae Samuel. Some of those guys is in the latter part of the draft. Yeah, let's go. I'm out. Peace. Chevin is good. Yeah, Chevin is good, fam. Chevin is good. Yeah. Yeah, all of those dogs, man. They good, man. Yeah. If I can end this thing.